How did Balaam's story reveal spiritual deception? This is one of the most powerful warnings in the entire Bible. The story of Balaam reveals how spiritual deception works, how a person can hear God but still be lost, how greed can corrupt spiritual leaders, how Satan uses compromise to destroy God's people. We will study this from the King James Version, KJV only. Who was Balaam? Balaam was a prophet who lived during the time of Moses. He was not an Israelite, but he knew the true God. Key scripture, Book of Numbers 22-5 KJV. He sent messengers therefore unto Balak. The king of Moab wanted Balaam to curse Israel. This is where the deception begins. The spiritual position of Balaam. Balaam could hear God. God spoke to him directly. Numbers 22-9. And God came unto Balaam and said, "This is shocking." God spoke to him. This means he had spiritual access. But access does not guarantee faithfulness. This is the first warning. A person can preach, prophesy, and still be spiritually corrupt. The first TESTMONIY King Balak offered Balaam money. Numbers 22-7 with the rewards of divination in their hand. This was payment. Balaam was being hired. God told Balaam, "Do not go." Numbers 22:12, "Thou shalt not go with them." This should have ended the story, but Balaam's heart was divided. He wanted the money. This is where deception begins. When a person loves money more than God, Balaam pretended to be obeyed, and Balaam told the messengers he could only do what God said. This sounded spiritual, but his heart wanted the reward. Numbers 22:19, he asked God again. God had already said no. Why ask again? Because he wanted a different answer. This is deception. People ask God repeatedly until they hear what they want. God allowed him but was angry. God allowed Balaam to go, but God was angry. Numbers 22:22, God's anger was kindled because he went. This reveals a deep truth. Sometimes God allows what he does not approve. This is judgment, not blessing. The donkey in the angel. This is one of the most supernatural moments in Scripture. Numbers 22:23, the donkey saw the angel. Balaam did not. The donkey saved his life. Then God opened the donkey's mouth. Numbers 22:28, the Lord opened the mouth of the ass. The donkey spoke. This reveals spiritual blindness. The prophet was blind. The animal saw truth. This is deception. When a spiritual leader cannot see God's warning, Balaam still continued. Even after this miracle, he still went. His heart was set on reward. This is the danger of greed. Greed blinds people. Balaam could not curse Israel. God forced Balaam to bless Israel. Numbers 23:8, how shall I curse whom God hath not cursed? God protected his people. Balaam could not override God. The hidden deception, Balaam's secret PL, and this is the most dangerous part. Balaam could not curse Israel directly, so he corrupted them indirectly. He taught Balak to seduce Israel. Numbers 31 minutes and 16 seconds through the counsel of Balaam, he taught them to use sexual sin idolatries. Worked Israel fell into sin. This is Satan's strategy. If he cannot destroy you directly, he corrupts you indirectly. New Testament warns about Balaam. Balaam is mentioned 3 times in the New Testament. This proves his story is extremely important. First warning. Second Epistle of Peter 2:15, which have forsaken the right way, following the way of Balaam. This means Balaam represents false teachers. Second warning. Epistle of Jude 1:11, ran greedily after the error of Balaam. His error was greed. Third warning. Book of Revelation 2:14, who taught Balak to cast a stone. He caused God's people to sin. This is spiritual deception. Balaam's DHH. Balaam died in judgment. Numbers 31:8, they slew Balaam. He died as an enemy of God, even though he was a prophet. This is terrifying. A person can be used by God and still be lost. The 7 signs of spiritual deception from Balaam's life. Here are the warning signs. Loving money more than God, pretending to obey God, asking God repeatedly for permission to sin, ignoring God's warnings, continuing despite conviction, leading others into sin, appearing spiritual. Outwardly just warned about this same DICOS, warned about this same DICEPITO, and Jesus said, Matthew 7:22-23, many will say to me, have we not prophesied? But he will reject them. This was Balaam's condition. He prophesied, but his heart was corrupt. Major lessons. Not every prophet is true. Not every preacher is faithful. Not every spiritual experience is safe. We must guard our hearts to protect yourself from Balaam's DCICPT, or in state faithful to Scripture. Avoid